Five on your health tonight. Growing concern about the safety of fresh cut cantaloupe. A deadly outbreak of salmonella. It's just making people sick, very sick in both the U.S. and Canada. So here to explain the risk with us is Dr. Todd Ellerin, the Chief of Infectious Diseases at South Shore Health, to talk about all of this. Thank you for being with us once again.
Good to see you.
Yeah, let's talk about this because we have a map here. Because as of Tuesday, there have been 117 infections in 34 states, including Massachusetts and Rhode Island. More than half have been hospitalized, and 2 patients in Minnesota have died. So do you think the actual number of cases could be even higher?
I think it definitely could, Jessica, and the reason is the CDC tells us for every confirmed case of salmonella, there's probably about 30 cases that haven't been diagnosed. Most of those are milder, which is good, but there's a lot of salmonella. I think the key right now is really have to stay away from cantaloupe.
Okay, so are we not just talking about cut cantaloupe, whole cantaloupe? Does it matter?
It does matter. We're talking about both whole cantaloupe from a couple of producers and then cut cantaloupe from many different producers. The problem is those cut cantaloupe are often using some of that whole cantaloupe. So until the CDC gives us a green light, it's best to stay away, especially because in the past couple of weeks, cases have tripled.
Okay, so this is concerning. The CDC says about 1/3 of patients in this outbreak are under the age of 5. So is salmonella particularly dangerous to kids?
Well, the good news is most people do very well with salmonella, but the extremes of age and immunocompromised patients are the ones that can be hardest hit. So again, I think you don't want to take any risks, especially in the youngest kids.
And you told us you saw a case of salmonella at South Shore earlier today. Is it typically difficult to figure out a case if that's what it is?
Yeah, so the good news is most salmonella is isolated and not part of these outbreaks. My patient did not eat any cantaloupe, no melons in the past month. So that's good news. He or she is not part of this outbreak. But I think it's important right now because really things are spreading. It's not just in the U.S. as well. It's multi-country. Canada is also involved.
And we were talking a little bit about brands, right? When we talk about the cantaloupe. So the CDC says the investigation is targeting 2 brands of whole cantaloupes, Malachita and Rudy, right? But again, if you don't know what the brand the store is using, what should you do?
You want to stay away
Just
right
stay
now.
away.
Stay away from cantaloupe right now. That's the best thing, the healthiest thing. Soon enough, hopefully the CDC will say it's okay to go back.
Okay, good advice. Dr. Ellerin, we always appreciate when you're here. When you
too.
give us this advice, it's important for this concerning trend that we're seeing. So thank you so much.
You too.
All right.